All right, so today we're going to dive deep into Lam Research and their latest earnings report.
Fresh off the press.
Yeah. Now, Lam Research, they're a big player in the semiconductor world, right? I mean, their tech is practically in every single advanced computer chip out there.
Yeah, if you've got a computer or a smartphone, chances are Lam Research had a hand in making it happen.
Exactly. So they just released their Q1 2025 results, and we're going to break down what it all means. First, we'll look at how they did compared to what those analysts were predicting, and then we'll dig into their outlook for the next quarter.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get into it. So earnings per share, Lam Research, they actually blew past those predictions, hitting $0.86 adjusted EPS
Whoa.
compared to the expected $0.80.
Yeah, that's a big beat, especially considering all the, economic uncertainty going on right now.
For sure, the semiconductor sector hasn't exactly been a smooth ride lately.
Yeah.
So exceeding expectations like that, well, that kind of suggests they're navigating things, I don't know, better than some.
Absolutely. It's a sign of strength in a tough market for sure.
Definitely. And it wasn't just the EPS that was impressive.
Oh.
Their revenue, also, it sailed past those projections.
Yeah.
It reached $4.17 billion
Wow.
against an anticipated $4.06 billion. The market's paying attention when their stock price jumps 4% after hours.
You know what they say, money talks.
Right. Clearly, investors liked what they saw.
For sure, for sure.
All right, let's dig a little deeper into these numbers. So breaking down that revenue, systems revenue, that's their core business, the sales of new equipment, it went up 16% year over year.
Now, that's a healthy growth rate. Shows strong demand for their core products.
Yeah, it means their tech is still in high demand.
Absolutely.
Now, here's something interesting. Their customer support revenue that covers services, spares, and upgrades, and all that stuff, saw a massive 25% jump year over year.
35%. Whoa, that's huge.
It is massive, right?
Yeah. That could mean, I don't know, maybe their install base is growing, more need for those support services, or maybe those high-margin upgrades are gaining traction. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on.
For sure. Something to watch. All right, so we've got a good sense of how Lam's doing internally. But what about the external factors? Where are these revenues actually coming from? Which sectors are driving all this growth?
Right. Well, looking at the reports, China, they're the leading region, bringing in a big 37% of their revenue.
Wow, almost 40%.
Yeah, and you've got Korea and Taiwan not too far behind.
So they're pretty reliant on those specific markets, huh? Particularly in Asia. Any risks tied to that?
Well, yeah, any political or economic changes in those regions that could definitely have an impact on their business.
Makes sense.
It's like, yeah, huge opportunity, but also, potential vulnerability.
Yeah, double-edged sword.
Exactly.
And what about on the product side?
Okay, so memory chips, they make up about 35% of their revenue right now. But foundry, that's the contract manufacturing, that's actually taking the lead at 41%. Yeah, and this actually lines up with what we're seeing in the broader semiconductor industry. That demand for memory chips, it's softened a little bit, while the foundry segment is, well, it's booming, driven by that need for those more specialized chips.
So they're kind of riding that wave.
Exactly. They seem to be adapting pretty well to those market changes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so we've seen that Lam really crush it in Q1. They exceeded those expectations on both earnings and revenue. But what about looking forward? What does their guidance tell us about those expectations for Q2 of 2025?
Well, let's get into those projections and see what we can uncover.
Let's do it. So diving deeper into Lam Research, one thing that really caught my eye in their reports was this focus on what they called the moly transition.
Ah, yes, the shift from tungsten to molybdenum.
Right, in chip production.
It seems like a small thing, but it actually could have huge implications.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So why is this change happening, and what does it mean for a company like Lam Research?
Well, as chips get smaller and smaller, more complex, you need materials that can, keep up, right? And molybdenum, it has some properties that make it, I guess, better suited for those advanced chips.
Like what kind of properties?
Well, for one, it handles heat so much better, and we're talking about intense heat generated in these tiny, powerful chips.
Oh, yeah, they get hot.
Yeah. And it allows for more precise patterning, which is, well, essential when you're trying to cram more transistors in there, boost that performance.
So it sounds like Lam is kind of getting ahead of this trend.
Exactly. They've been developing equipment specifically for this molybdenum processing, and they're already seeing some wins there, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they talked about some production wins, specifically in the NAND memory chip market. Big plans to scale that up next year.
So this is where those strategic investments we talked about earlier really come in.
Absolutely. They're, well, anticipating those future needs of the industry, positioning themselves to be, a leader in this transition.
Higher.
Yeah.
But it's not just about molybdenum, right? They're involved in other technological advancements too, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're also making some serious moves in the world of gate-all-around transistors, or GAA as it's called.
GAA, got it.
Yeah, it's a pretty big shift in how transistors are designed, lets them pack even more in, and increases energy efficiency, too.
So instead of those transistors being flat, they're arranged, what, on all sides of a 3D structure?
Exactly, exactly. Like building upwards instead of outwards, if you will.
Makes sense. More transistors in the same space. And Lam's part of making that happen.
Oh, absolutely. They've got these specialized deposition and etch tools,
Huh.
crucial for building those intricate GAA structures. And the demand for that tech is, well, it's through the roof, especially from those big foundry customers.
So it seems like they're really pushing the limits of what's possible with chip manufacturing.
Yeah, they are.
So what else is on their radar?
Well, they're also making big strides in what's called backside power delivery.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one. Break it down for me.
So basically, as you pack more and more transistors onto a chip, the way you route power, it kind of becomes a bottleneck.
Ah, I see.
Backside power delivery, it moves those connections to the back of the chip, which frees up valuable space on the front, improves performance.
So it's like rewiring a building, making the electricity flow better.
Perfect analogy. Yeah, and Lam's leading the charge there. Their selective etch tools are, well, they're essential for making backside power delivery possible.
This is a lot to take in. They've got the molybdenum transition, the GAA transistors, backside power delivery. Anything else?
Well, they're also exploring advanced packaging techniques, which involve stacking chips together in, well, some pretty innovative ways. It creates even more powerful devices.
So it's not just about making the chips better, it's about finding better ways to, I guess, combine them.
Exactly. Opens up a lot of possibilities, for creating those specialized chips for very specific uses like AI, high-performance computing, all that.
Wow, it sounds like Lam's really got a lot going on.
They do. And this is where that focus on driving down per bit costs comes in. Offering solutions across all these advanced technologies makes them a really attractive partner for those customers.
That's a smart strategy. But what about the competition? Are they as active in these areas as Lam Research is?
Oh, absolutely. The semiconductor world is, well, it's competitive. But Lam, they seem to be making some, I don't know, savvy moves to stay ahead. That dedication to innovation to their customers, those strategic investments, it seems to be working for them.
Okay, so it seems like they're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, definitely a company to keep an eye on.
Okay, so Lam Research, strong financials, betting big on those cutting-edge technologies, but like with any investment, got to consider the risks, right?
Right, absolutely. They seem to be in a strong spot, but this industry, semiconductors, it's known for its ups and downs.
Those cycles.
Exactly, very sensitive to the, global economy. If demand for electronics slows down, smartphones, laptops, servers, whatever, well, that could have an impact on Lam.
So even though things are good now, it's not all smooth sailing.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got the whole geopolitical situation, too.
Yeah.
We've seen how those trade tensions, export restrictions, all that can really disrupt this industry.
Yeah,
And Lam's pretty exposed to China, so that adds another layer of complexity.
for sure. Any increase in those tensions could really affect them.
Yeah, and let's not forget the competition.
Oh yeah, that's fierce.
It is very fierce. They got to keep innovating, got to provide that, top-notch value to customers if they want to stay ahead.
Yeah, just sit back and relax.
Nope, got to keep pushing.
Right, but along with those risks, I mean, there's some pretty exciting opportunities too, right?
Oh, tons. I mean, the demand for these advanced chips, it's only going to keep growing, especially with AI, 5G, Internet of Things, all that.
So they're in a good position to benefit from that.
If they play their cards right, absolutely. They're already, moving into those key growth areas like AI chip manufacturing.
Right.
And their expertise with that advanced packaging, that could really give them an edge.
Yeah, for sure. And that whole moly transition, that's got to be huge in the next few years.
Yeah, if they solidify themselves as the leader in that molybdenum processing, well, they could see some serious gains as, more and more chip makers adopt it.
Okay, so we've covered how they're doing financially, how they're beating expectations, and we've dug into those key technologies.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, what does all this mean for, the average person? How's it going to affect the tech we use every day?
Well, all these advancements, they're going to lead to, I don't know, faster, more powerful devices. Think about it. Smartphones that can do even more,
Right.
laptops with crazy battery life, data centers that process info like instantly.
So our tech's just going to keep getting better and better.
Basically, yeah. And as AI gets even more sophisticated, thanks in part to, those specialized chips Lam's making, we can expect even more, I don't know, groundbreaking stuff. Personalized healthcare, smarter transportation, even better virtual assistants, all that.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
It is. It's like a whole new era of tech.
And Lamb's going to be right there in the middle of it.
They are.
So to wrap up, just to recap, Lamb is projecting revenue to be around $4.3 billion, plus or minus $300 million for Q2 of 2025.
And for earnings per share, they're expecting somewhere between $0.77 and 97 cents.
Well, that about does it for our deep dive into Lam Research's Q1 2025 earnings.
It's been a fascinating look into the world of semiconductors.
Yeah, they're a company to watch, that's for sure. Pushing the boundaries, shaping the future of tech.
Absolutely. And even those little details, like that shift from tungsten to molybdenum, they can have a ripple effect on everything.
So next time you're using your phone or your laptop, just think about, that complex world of chips and the companies like Lam that are making it all happen.
Always more to learn out there.
That's right. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.